Hello, today I'm going to give you guys 5 things to look for in week 1 of the NFL regular season. The first thing I'm going to start off with is teams with new coaches. I'm going to go top to bottom on this one. First coach, Bruce Arians of the Cardinals. One thing to look for with them is can they get their offense going? Last year they struggled mightily on offense. That's kind of why Ken Whisenhunt is gone. Bruce Arians is in. Let's see how things go with him. Everyone's expecting them to be at least better on offense because of Carson Palmer. Larry Fitzgerald should have a big year. But week 1, you could really tell and see who, the changes in coaching philosophy, changing quarterbacks. So it'll be interesting to see if the Cardinals can capitalize and have a more explosive offense this season. The next coach I'm going to talk about is Chip Kelly and the Eagles. Very interested to see what happens with him. It's going to be interesting to see if he and his offense can translate to the NFL. It's very fast paced. If anyone watched college football for the past couple of years, he ran the high powered offense at Oregon. Really, really, really excited to see it. Let's see if it works in the NFL. We can watch it very soon coming up, and hopefully it works out for them. Michael Vick, it should just be a lot of fun to see. That's another thing you need to look for with them. Next coach, Mark Trestman of the Bears. He's their new head coach. And the thing to look for with them in week 1 is their offense finally explosive? Over the past few, the Bears have been trying to find the middle ground in terms of trying to take that offense to the next level. They've kind of been below average. They want to be above average to really good. Mark Trestman has the tools to do it. He has the track record. So let's see if there are any changes in the Bears offense week 1. Next is Doug Marrone in the Bills. Wow, he has a lot on his plate. The biggest thing to watch for is can the Bills, are they just going to be effective? Toole is going to be starting for them week 1. EJ Manuel will be back shortly, hopefully in a couple weeks for the Bills. But the thing to watch for the Bills is can they just keep it together? Will their defense be good? He has a lot on their plate, though. A lot for a first-year coach. Doug Marrone, good luck. The thing to watch for next is with Gus Bradley and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the thing with him is can he turn Blaine Gabbert's career around? That's the biggest thing. Quarterback is the most important position. If he could change Blaine Gabbert's quarterback, if he could turn his career around, that would be a big help for the Jaguars and hopefully get their future started quickly instead of addressing quarterback next year in the NFL draft, aka Teddy Bridgewater out of Louisville. Next thing to watch for in terms of team, we have McCoy. He's the new coach of the San Diego Chargers, and another revival with him. Can Philip Rivers be what he used to be? The past couple of years, he's not been the same Philip Rivers. Can he take it to where he used to be, throwing for 4,500 yards, being extremely accurate? The Chargers need him. They're not as talented as they once were. So with them to watch for and to look for is their offensive line improved? And is Philip Rivers going to be what he once was, or is he kind of a washed-up quarterback? Time will tell. Week 1, like I said, you could find out a lot of things. And then the next one is going to be with Andy Reid. And he's the new coach of the Chiefs. He recently coached the Eagles, as you guys probably know. And the biggest thing for them to look for is how their offense and their defense goes together. Their defense has a lot of talent on it, but they did not perform well last year. That's a good thing to watch for with them. And then another good thing to look for with them is how Alex Smith is. Is he going to be more of a game manager, which a lot of people think he is, or is he going to be able to take the Chiefs to the next level? Some people think they're a fringe playoff team. You can tell a lot from week 1, so we'll find out with them. The number 2 thing to look for this week here in the first week is the Ravens' new roster. They lost Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. How does their leadership take over? One thing to look for on them is, does their defense play well? If their defense struggles week 1 against the Broncos, then that might be a telltale that it might be a long year for them. But if they play well, it could be, hey, they might not take that big of a step back. Another thing to look for with them is obviously Joe Flacco. Can he continue his hot play that he did at the end of last year? Only time will tell, for sure. Next is, does RG3 play? That's the third one. If RG3 plays, that would obviously be huge for the Redskins. They really need him. He's a dynamic player. I think he does, but then again, I've seen crazier things happen where he might not be fully healthy. I totally think he is. I think everyone else think he is. I think he starts week 1, and I think he plays well. But that's another thing to look for. It's another thing most people are looking for, especially those fans in Washington. The fourth thing to look for is QBs on the bubble. And it's very important week 1 of the season to get yourself established right. For example, in 1999, Kurt Warner came out of nowhere and just tore it up starting at week 1. And that's what these quarterbacks on the bubble need to do. Kurt Warner did not have his job solidified. He got in through an injury of Trent Green. That same thing what quarterbacks need to do here on the bubble. Those quarterbacks on the bubble are Terrell Pryor. Slater is the starter for the Raiders, and he's kind of battling it out with Matt Flynn, who had some arm soreness, but he needs to play well to keep his job. Blaine Gabbert, like I stated earlier, he needs to get his career going, or he could be replaced either this year by Chad Henne or next year, aka Teddy Bridgewater. Brandon Weeden, he needs to get it going as well. He does have a new coach. He needs to get it going in terms of he needs to be more consistent. He needs to get the ball down the field better, and give the ball to Trent Richardson. That should help him get off the bubble. Next is Christian Ponder. He kind of had a little quarterback battle with Matt Castle. I know he was never in danger of losing his job, but with Matt Castle behind him, he better play well or Castle is going to be put in the game. Ponder needs to start off the week well. Next is with that. Josh Freeman, of course. Josh Freeman, this is a make or break year for him. He's on the bubble in terms of he does not play well this year. He's going to be replaced. He needs to get going early week 1 in order to impress his teammates, impress the coaching staff. Basically with him, if he doesn't play well and the Buccaneers have a bad year, that whole coaching staff is gone. They might gut that roster too. They have a lot of money invested in big players like Darrelle Revis and Vincent Jackson, so he has to get it going. And then the last quarterback is Geno Smith. He's on the bubble in terms of he's kind of being forced into that role. He is a rookie quarterback that really struggled in his preseason start through 3 interceptions. Mark Sanchez sitting behind him. Brady Quinn just got signed. He's on the bubble. He needs to go out there and make a statement, kind of like how Robert Griffin last year, he made a big statement. Cam Newton in his first game a couple years ago looked really good, and he kind of solidified from there on that he's going to be the starter of the Carolina Panthers. Geno Smith needs to do that too for the Jets. And then the fifth thing to watch for in week 1 here is the teams that kind of show that they're playoff contenders. They need to show, hey, we're for real. We're going to be really good. Come out of the gate and play well. A good example of this is a couple years ago, the Lions came out week 1 and played really well and kind of got the hype going for them. They started off, I believe they were like 4, 5, 6-0, something like that. But they started off really well week 1 and kind of got momentum going. This is a year for teams that weren't very good last year, or 7-9-ish, just come out and play really, really well week 1 to make a statement. And if they do that, things can go really well for the rest of the season. Another great example is the Redskins last year. They played the Saints, and RG3 came out, and they looked fantastic, and they rode that momentum the whole season. So that's another thing to look for week 1 of the regular season. I hope you guys enjoyed what I think to watch for here in week 1 of the regular season. If you guys want to leave some comments in terms of what we should all watch for, because there are tons of I didn't cover everything with just 5 things. So what do you guys think that we should watch for week 1 in the regular season? And let us know in the comments section. Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
Anything goes, anything goes. You never know what we're gonna show on Anything Goes.